Welcome back to The Bin. I'm your host, Rachel Winslow, and I'm here with head coach Bus. Right now we're in the ETC, and Bus is going to take me through the typical breakdown of film in preparation for a game.
Absolutely. So we're here courtesy of FIC, one of the perks of using the university facilities. Let's go on in. We're actually in the middle of prepping for a session now, but we can take a look at what we're doing.
Excited. So this is just the footage you'll have running?
Yeah, what you can see now is just the basic setup of the room. It's really nice. There are TVs everywhere, so everyone has visibility. We have plenty of room, as you can see, things to write on. Just basic classroom things. So I think today what we're really focused on is a few points that we use. One is statistical breakdown, which really increases the accountability level. And then we'll also take a look at maybe a breakdown of a few plays. We have some things queued up that we can take a look at that the coaches were looking at and really go from there.
All right, let's take a look.
All right, perfect. What we have here is game prep for Navy. Now, this is obviously film of Notre Dame, but we're going to talk about our attack and what we see in front of us. So something we talk about a lot is penetrating the defense, forcing the defense to turn around. And as you can see, we have our runner who's getting ahead. He'll end up with nice straight hips, getting behind the defense. You can also look and see where the hips of these defenders are turned. So what we talk about is where is the hole going to be after this one? We have to anticipate where we're going to attack. Just looking at these guys, we're probably looking at a channel, at least one channel right here. It doesn't mean there's nothing wide, but it looks like our best attacking option is going to be right off this breakdown with these guys filling in. Maybe we can get to a half gap or an arm tackle. So once we identify that, we can talk to the players, show them what it's going to look like, talk to them about the read that they're going to make, and then see it play through. So I guess let's take a look at it in real life and see what it looks like when the play actually happens. So as you can see, nice strong run. We identify the gap, and Peter Hyams, our captain, makes a nice run, beats two defenders on his way to the try line. So that wasn't necessarily all the read. He did a lot of the work on his own, but it's something we need to identify as a team so we can all attack together.
All right, well, that's really cool, but that's how you guys prepared for Navy. How do you guys review Notre Dame?
Well, I'm glad you asked. So this is basically a stat sheet. So we don't just watch the film, but every phase in the game gets broken down. First half, second half. We have some things that we like to keep track of down here. And I should say, this is an old stat sheet. We don't want to give any of our tricks away ahead of the big match. But as you can see here, we have a ton of stuff to track. You had asked before about tackles made, tackles missed. So we have tackles in the first half in this column, total tackles behind the dash, then total tackles missed first half, total tackles missed in both halves. So that's how we break it down. Other categories like ball carries, link play, which is part of the secret formula, and then other stuff over here.
So this positive, this means tackles that were made pushed forward 4 yards, 4 meters, I guess?
No, so this section on is carries, so this is offensive stats. So a positive ball carry means we broke the gain line, and then other factors we were working on, like did we have our hips square, did we hit the line at pace, did we take the ball deep, just things we're working on that week that go into a positive play. So it'll be defined beforehand what positive actually means, and then this tracks what a positive carry was and how many they had.
So I see that you guys are doing pretty good on the ruck kind of area over here.
Yeah, I don't know how good it means. It seems like it's a little bit, these ones in this section, but really this means that we lost 5 rucks on our own possession. So 32 rucks won, 5 rucks lost. That's not a great ratio. That's certainly something that we worked on after this game that we've really improved on throughout the season. But as you can see, every stat line kind of tells a story. So if I'm looking at this, looking at the statistics and knowing what our game plan was and where guys were positioned, you can see that we're really defense heavy in the midfield, which means that we played a lot of defense in their back line. So they were able to spread the ball wide on us, and that was their game plan to get the ball wide. And so you can kind of tell by the stats what's been impacted in that game and what they were trying to do and how we did to counteract that.
So you'd say that this is a pretty average stat sheet?
As far as the numbers go?
Yeah.
No, this was a really defensive heavy game. So we made 113 tackles. We won 32 rucks. So they had a massive amount of possession in this track. And this isn't the full game. This is a partial of a very early game in the season. But this was, if I were purely looking at the stat sheet, I would say we didn't do very well this game.
How do you think Notre Dame compares to whatever game this was?
So if this was a Notre Dame stat sheet, you would see a lot less in the tackle section probably, a lot more carries, a lot more positive carries, a lot more one rucks. You'd see a big increase there. I would say, having broken down the Notre Dame tape, our pack was really active in the Notre Dame game, Tommy Gilmore in particular. I think he had 7 link plays, which is one rucks. That's really high for a tight head lock. So we were busy. Guys got through a lot of work offensively during Notre Dame. Something that did line up is missed tackles. We missed a ton of tackles against Notre Dame. Something we really talked about. Something that absolutely can't happen against Navy. So, yeah, it's all important. This adds a little bit of accountability to our game. So when you see your numbers thrown up on the stat board for everybody to look at on the team, it's a little added motivation. So it's something that we're really happy with. It's added a little element to the game. So
this isn't just a breakdown, I guess. This isn't just how you break down games. It's also looking ahead into how you prepare also.
Yeah, absolutely. It can give you a roadmap on what to do for your game coming up. So if you see that, maybe picking on Tommy, his tackle count was a little low. He made 2 tackles all game. Now, that doesn't mean he had a bad game. He also missed 2, but we'd probably like to see a little more production. That doesn't mean he was lazy or out of shape or tired or anything. It could just be a positioning issue or anticipating where the offense is going to attack. There are a lot of factors go into that, but it gives us a lead to say, okay, let's identify some challenges or some opportunities, and then when we look at the film, it's going to give us kind of a guide to go from there.
All right, well, I hope the Navy stat sheet looks good, however good looks, however you want to interpret good that week.
Absolutely. Well, we're excited. It's going to have to look good if we're going to have a shot. So, yeah, but thanks for taking a peek inside inside the machine.
It's real interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. This is proprietary, right? So you can't tell anybody about it.
Of course, it's also.
But we also hope the alumni take a look and really enjoy it, and it gives some insight into how we prepare, and it's not just going out there smashing heads against each other. There's actually some thought that goes behind it.
Awesome.